kick back, unwind, it's that time of night. Pull up a chair, yeah, the vibe feels right. Stories, laughs, and a little bit of fable. It's another night at the round table. Nights at the round table. Nights at the round table. Real talk, real laughs, it's live and uncensored.
Hey, how about that?
A little dancing.
Yeah, that was kind of fun. I forget that everything's muted when we're doing that. So yeah, good times. So here we are. I almost entered Gary, started going with my Sonic Legacy spiel, and I realized, oh, that's not today.
That's not today.
There's actually another a live stream, a live episode of what we're calling Nights at the Round Table. It's kind of where we gather up some friends who clearly have nothing better to do on a Friday night. And we discuss things. Unfortunately, we're gathered today, friends, countrymen. We're gathered today to talk about the untimely passing of Ace Frehley, or Ace Frehley, as the kids say. And gathered here, of course, you got Gary, you got me, Andy, our good friend Kevin, Fractured Mirror Hayes, and Brent Walter are amongst the friends. He is the Kiss. The biggest Kiss fan amongst us, or at least has spent the most money on Kiss merchandise amongst us.
I think both actually.
Yeah. So, I mean, the idea today, we just wanted to get together and kind of talk about how important Kiss, I think, was to all of us, and how influential it was to all of us. I mean, I'm sitting here looking at these four guys, and I'm gonna blather on here for a minute. I was lucky enough years ago, my boy Brent Walter included me in a meet and greet with Gene Simmons. And when talking to Gene, Brent, what was that, 2018?
No.
Doesn't matter. It was years ago.
It was 19. It was
19?
Before COVID.
Yeah. So the vault. And anyway, Brent took me with him, and we got to spend a few minutes talking to Gene Simmons, which was a dream come true for Brent and I. And as I was talking to Gene, and I'll admit this, as an adult male who was meeting a hero, I got a little misty. There must have been something in the air. But I was telling Gene, I was relating to Gene, and it hit me at that exact moment when I was talking to him. I didn't realize it until I was talking to him, that almost every important person in my life, except for family and parents, is because of those four guys from New York: Gene, Paul, Ace, and Peter. And that includes these three guys sitting here, three of my best, oldest friends. Kevin is the oldest friend I have, both in years and the years I've known him. And then there's Brent, and then Gary. So the short version of all these stories is I started playing drums at 7 because of Kiss. Everybody, this group here knows it was Dress to Kill. That was my gateway drug. And that changed everything in my life, changed my whole outlook, my perspective on what I thought I was going to do with the rest of my days. And for the most part, I have. I mean, we're all still playing music to some degree, not much, but we've all done it. But I meet Kevin on my screen. He's down here to my left. He is the Cindy Brady to my Alice. And Kevin and I met and started playing music together. And the very first song we ever played, Kev, do you remember the first song we ever played together as a group of me, you, and Steve Cook?
Yeah, it was in my front yard underneath the big tree in the yard, and it was Calling Dr. Love.
Yeah.
Had to be.
It was Kiss. So I meet Kevin because of Kiss. I meet Brent because of Kiss. And we actually rehashed this story recently on an episode of Sonic Legacy. Mm-hmm. But then the guy, Gary, the youngster of the group, the newest member of this
I remember that day well when we met you, Gary.
We're walking through Eastgate Mall.
No, we weren't walking through. We were in
there. It is.
Yep.
Point shit.
And I was playing a video game, and I was wearing my Lick It Up tour jersey, and Gary and Spitnickel walked by and said, "Nice shirt."
Still love the nickname Spit Nickel.
Spit Nickel.
You want to get licked?
And we struck up a conversation. And you know, the rest is history.
And
Yeah.
again, just because of Kiss.
Yeah.
Then, you know, we all meet. Gary and I become really great friends, best friends. And then we find out that we have a lot of musical taste, similar taste, and we both had this aspirations to become writers and rock stars and, you know, have Bon Jovi open for us. Some of those things did not happen. Spoiler. Some
You
of
did
those
wind
things
up opening for
did not.
Loverboy, though. So
did. But anyway, my point is it's all because of the four guys from New York. And sadly, and we all knew this was coming. As we get older, and everybody knows this, we're getting older. Our heroes, our idols are getting older. They were like gods to us. To me, they were. I mean, I would look at Alive 2 and just stare at it. And now Ace wasn't my guy. I was a Gene guy and Peter because I wanted to be a drummer and I wanted to spit blood and breathe fire. So, but I loved Ace, and this just sucks. It sucks ass. Completely sucks.
well, it is your favorite of the 4 solo albums. You've referenced that many times over the decades.
I've spent the
Many
last
of it.
day listening to Ace Frehley on Gary's Gary's account on Spotify.
Yeah, no kidding.
I've been listening.
Way to go.
I've been listening to nonstop Ace Frehley stuff, and
What? They
Did you
just
discover anything
canceled
new?
my Spotify. Who's
sorry.
watching? Sorry.
sorry. But the thing is, for me,
You guys can use mine.
God, it's such a. It just takes me back to being a kid again, man. And
Yeah.
I think Gary made a great post on Facebook today about it. How, and I'm going to butcher what he said, but it's just about taking you back. And you know, when you're a kid and you're just dreaming, I want to be one of these guys. They were like comic book superstars, man.
Yeah.
And literally they became comic book stars. But yeah, I don't want to hog it all for now. But I mean, just Ace. God, I mean, it sucks. We're still trying to process it as fans, as group of friends. I know Brent, Ace was his guy. And I mean, I was actually on the phone with Brent yesterday when we were both kind of finding out what was going on. Hadn't been confirmed yet. And what sucked worse was it was Brent's birthday. And I was like, please not today. Don't let it happen today. And
Well, when we
did, so
when we kind of found out stuff last week,
Yeah.
and I was like, say it isn't so, you know, with him being on the respirator and what have you. And I even said that night when we were recording, I said, God, I hope it's not on my birthday. And then last night when I'm sitting there trying to watch the Bengals game and my phone, everything's just blowing up.
Yeah.
I see Bruce Kulick post. And okay, I'm not going to do this, but
yeah.
what clicked in my head was back 2004-5 on my birthday, he got shot in the head.
Who did?
Remember, Bruce did. He was walking out of a club in Las Vegas or Los Angeles, and a
didn't
bullet
know this.
grazed his head.
Well, you need to stop having birthdays.
And I'm like, and I thought, oh my God, it was my birthday then too. And fast forward 15 years later, we lose Ace.
Yeah, it's not great. So let's just go around and talk about Gary. What was your gateway? What was Kiss to you? I mean, I know you had a lot of other musical influences, which you actually pulled me into. But like, where was Kiss in your? When did it enter your sphere? And then
I was trying to put a date to it because I know it was late 70s.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know what the album year releases were, but I just recall. I mean, for me, yeah, that's true. I could just have Brent fact check.
Just ask Brentopedia.
I mean, Destroyer. To hear Brent disparage Destroyer Destroyer
Overrated.
Destroyer was the one, man. And
Yeah.
you know what? I have to say, and I'm sure this is true for everybody. Kiss is that band that I know that there's other bands out there that other people, looked up to and all that. But for me, Kiss was the first band that I actually was like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
And I said in my post, one of the things I mentioned is just I immediately, I started listening to stuff, of course. I think we all did as soon as we heard that you kind of go back. Brent's never stopped listening, but I had to go back and revisit. And it just took me back to remembering being at my uncle's. And Kim, you guys all know Kim, my cousin, and us just jumping around on the bed and pretending we're the band and singing along to the songs. And, you sit there and you look at the album covers, and Destroyer is such an awesome, iconic album cover that you're just staring at these guys and you're like, man, this is the coolest. And this is the thing I want to do when I get older. They were just the first rock band that really made me feel like this is something that I could do, or, other bands. I don't know. There's something about them. I guess maybe it's the makeup also, that they're just they're kind of mysterious at that time, and you don't really.
They were just so. I mean, again, they were appealing to the kids. That was
It was
part
100% the makeup, the costumes.
I mean,
yeah.
I've told this story. I remember walking down, holding the Dress to Kill album, and looking at my parents, going, "Whatever this is, I want to do this." And my mom, who's God rest her soul, a very religious person, was just like, "Oh my God." And I'm like, I need to learn how to spit. I mean, I would take the cherry Jello powder, and I would put it in my mouth and just shake it all over like Gene spit blood. And I ruined my clothing. And my mom's like, "Stop doing that."
So you know what she did to pacify him? She bought him some big old white clogs like that.
Hey,
That way she could hear when he was starting to be
all my
kissed.
secrets.
Well,
Kevin, now I know we always know for you, you were a Beatles guy too, but where was Kiss in that for you? Where was it? Beatles first, then Kiss, or kind of in the middle? Because you were the smartest musician guy I knew, because you were teaching me about music that I didn't.
Thanks for putting it that way, because I'm not all that smart musically. This is where Kiss.
Yeah,
I was gonna pull those out too.
No, you weren't.
I love it. You sent me that picture too. I forgot I had that.
Yes, I wanted you to use that on Facebook, something I'm not on. But it was, first of all, it started as Paul McCartney. That was just who I listened to and liked. And my grandmother took us to Kmart, which was 45 minutes away. We picked beans all day, and we got to get a toy. Well, I picked the Mego Batman with the rubber band arms that would break. And my cousin picked, who's 6 months younger than me, he picked Kiss Alive album. And we get back and put it on the big, massive turntable, which was an awesome piece of furniture back then.
Yeah.
And we're just looking at everything. Albums were a great thing then. And the booklet that came with it, all the liner notes, and who is this guy? And so that's where really the bass playing, I wanted to, Gene Simmons, I want to do that. And then come to find out later, Paul McCartney plays bass. So it was, when I started learning, it was, that it drove my instructor crazy. I took private lessons for almost 8 years, and he got me to branch out into other things, but it was Beatles and Kiss. And he's like, "There's other music out there." I'm like, "Yeah, but I don't care." So I commented on one of your Kiss album videos that I had learned room service well before I should have been, but he wrote it out for. I still have the old chicken scratch tablature. But Ace, for me, if we were talking about the solo albums in '78, I didn't get all of them right away.
Mm-hmm.
I remember being in Ontario, and I wanted that Gene Simmons album real bad. And my dad goes, "No, I don't like that guy. Put that away." And I was like, "I already have a few Kiss albums. What all of a sudden he does?" Well, I got it for Christmas. Then I got Paul, and then, believe it or not, Peter. Ace was the last solo album I got. Not by, it was just the way it fell.
Yeah.
Certainly not last in the order of how I like those albums. I mean, Ace's album is a rock and roll album, and it's a great capture of what I love. Classic 70s rock. I love Foghat. I love Cheap Trick. Kiss, just great riff heavy oriented rock and roll, and I can, of all the things I like, that's a genre I keep coming back to. But Ace, I didn't really notice I never wanted to be Ace. I loved him as a member of Kiss. I have the same, feelings you have about it, Andy, with the people you've met. The common denominator, the four of us all have, and some other people we could include, is Kiss. Yeah. And it did, they call it the Kiss Army because we did take abuse for liking them. It was either, Gene Simmons once said, "We are loved or hated, but never ignored." And that was true. What we ran into was a lot of the hate.
Brett and I talk about it all the time, that we were flying the flag of Kiss, especially when Wendy told us not to, and everybody told us no one's they're gonna make fun of you in high school. And
Brent's older sister.
It's not that we were rebellious as far as screw you, man. We'll do what we want.
This is who we like.
We just did what we wanted. I didn't. We didn't care.
There was no peer pressure.
Yeah, we didn't care.
We didn't give a shit.
Because we could just hang out with each other in the lunchroom and talk about Kiss.
Yeah.
Gary, you were on your own. I don't know what you were hanging out with.
Usually Glen Estee.
Yeah.
But
not at that time. But
you're absolutely right. There was no thought process in my brain like, oh, somebody's not going to like me because my uncle always made fun of me. That's bubblegum. Yeah. That's bubblegum music, and I didn't know what the hell bubblegum music was. It's good.
I like
the pack of cards came with a tasty piece of bubble gum. Remember,
you're not cards? Changing my mind. I actually like bubble gum. So
yeah, well,
act.
But that's the stuff you heard. I mean, guys, as recently, when did they reissue Stone Temple Pilots Core? When they did the big deluxe version, about 5 years ago.
Sure.
I was in Eastgate Mall, and WEBN, a local radio station here in Cincinnati, was in the mall doing something, promoting something. They were handing out free CDs. And I only know Core because they gave me Core. And I had a Kiss shirt on. And this big, fat, white piece of trash that couldn't get laid in the morgue is standing next to me, and he's making fun of Kiss, saying, I don't understand why you'd like these men. There's real rock and roll out there. I'm like, buddy, I don't even know you. And he goes, he's not wearing makeup shit. I just never got it. And all of a sudden I look at him. I said, makeup? I said, you're wearing a Ghost t-shirt.
Yeah.
Hello? And the guy from EBN started laughing. He looked, he goes, I was wondering when you were going to notice that. And I'm like, but a perfect stranger is just trying to call me out in front of people that I don't know. And I just don't understand.
A lot of the hate, at least,
I don't get it.
A lot of the hate was people, it became fashionable to be on that side of it.
But I don't like U2. I think U2 is horrible. But I don't walk up to anybody and say, oh my God. I mean, the only good thing that ever came out of U2 was the joke when he's clapping his hands and he says, every time I clap my hands, a child dies, and somebody in the crowd supposedly yelled, then stop fucking clapping your hands.
Oh,
that's the only good thing we've ever gotten out of U2. And maybe Bullet in the Blue Sky. That's pretty good. That's pretty good too.
I do like that song.
So the thing that I've noticed too, and I think this always, it's unfortunate that when people die, when you get the accolades come afterwards. I mean, we should have a wake before we die. Just to get us, and then when I die, you can just move on because I want to hear it. But I love that my social media is filled with a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people, and a lot of people that are celebrities, fellow rock stars talking about how influential he was and how, this goes back to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and that's a very touchy subject with me, but Tom Morello gave the greatest Hall of Fame induction speech for these guys, and he was dead on because he talked about influence. And, you can argue about Hendrix and Van Halen and Stevie Ray and all these influential guitar players, but Ace had to have influenced hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people to pick up an instrument. I mean, some that we know. I mean, the one that I love is Mike McCready from Pearl Jam. He's basically said, if it wasn't for Ace Frehley, I probably would not have picked up a guitar. Now, whether you like Pearl Jam or not is beside the point. The point is, this guy went on to become a member of one of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame legendary bands, the only surviving band from that grunge era, and it's all because of this guy behind me. He picked up a guitar because of that guy.
I've seen countless musicians, I can't even keep track, that credit Kiss or individual members, the original four, as why they started playing.
Tom Morello.
Well, yeah.
I mean, whether you and like Rage Against the Machine or not, I mean, he's a phenomenal guitar player. John 5. So, I mean, I don't know.
Well, you're talking about having a wake before somebody does. In our community, I guess, we have a community, we always gave all the accolades anyway, because like I said, that was our thing. That was what we lived and breathed growing up. And it was like, we knew something that you didn't know. And that's, and it was ours. And I remember, I need to get to my origin story because we kind of skipped over me. So all you,
not on purpose,
but no, it goes with Andy. Well, I'll go here and then I'm going to go somewhere else after that. When I was a kid, like I said, Ace was my dude. I mean, I guess because it was my first official record, was my solo record. I had told the story, but only like 34 people watched, so I'm going to tell it again.
I'm one of them.
Have Kiss in the house. I was, maybe that's part of my problem now, but I just wasn't allowed to have them. And so I used to go down to my buddy Mike Hoffman's house, and I'd take my Lloyd's tape recorder and the nice little leather case, and we'd, hit 2 buttons, and he'd drop his needle on his vinyl, and we'd sneak out of the room, and you'd hear the door shut right before Love Gun or something we'd kick on, So I had all these little bootleg tapes of my own, and I'm going to go there with the earplug. Everybody had that little white hard earplug from Radio Shack, and you had to take a toothpick, get all your little earwax out after you
Oh, you were supposed to clean that?
Oh yeah, you were supposed to clean that. But that's how I had to listen to them because I wasn't allowed to have them. And then one day in 1978, out of nowhere, we walk into Swallens off Red Bank Road. And my mom says, "Hey, go upstairs and get that Ace Frehley album." And I went, "Huh? Really?" She's like, "Yeah, I love that New York groove." So I go get it, and I remember when you'd walk in, and they had all their new stuff in boxes on the floor, and you'd pick them up, and I looked at that thing, and I was like, "Oh my God, I'm going home with the Kiss record." Go back down the stairs and go into the grocery department, and she goes, "What the hell's that shit? We ain't buying that." I'm like, "But it's Ace," So I ended up getting it for Christmas. So I've been a fan since 75, but I didn't get actually my first record until 78. So once they got on board with all that, Andy was talking about picking up a guitar, and my sister had an acoustic guitar, and I played left-handed. I couldn't, I was left-handed pretty much with everything. And my dad would say, "Son, if you want to be that idiot with makeup on, you're going to have to turn the guitar over and learn how to play it right-handed because they don't make left-handed guitars."
Solid logic.
And what little guitar I could play to this day, I play right-handed. I couldn't do left-handed if I tried. But I'd sit there with that acoustic guitar, and I had no idea how to do chords. But man, everything sounded like Shock Me, and
it sounded like it.
It was. Well, I could get the syncopation going, but I had no idea what the hell I was doing.
Like the toddler with the plinky little toy. It all sounded great.
I always wanted to play drums, always. But when I saw Ace, it's like I said on Facebook. When I saw Ace, he had the coolest makeup, he had the coolest outfits, and I wanted to pick up a guitar and just blow shit up like he did.
Yeah.
And the only thing I knew that he blew up was because of pictures. We didn't have video back then. So you really had to use your imagination, and what they did far out. I mean, I think my mind probably put on a better show than what they did back then.
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, we grew up at a time where you had to scour everything for
it was
any Kiss video or information.
Because I know the first time I ever saw them move or speak was on the Paul and Halloween show. And I was just dumbfounded. I was like, I couldn't believe what I was watching. And my dad's like, "You don't like this shit, do you?" And I was like, no, sir. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I was in my head. It was exploding. And I got to elementary school the next day. And did you see Kid? We were all talking about it. It was, it was big. That was our Live Aid back then, But what I was going to say, bringing it to the present, I'd been to Kiss shows where there was only a couple thousand people there. I mean, on the Hot in the Shade tour, when they were here in Cincinnati, nobody knew they were here. And tickets only went on sale 2 weeks before the show. And there was nobody. I mean, Andy didn't even go.
Yeah.
But
I missed a lot of shows there.
But what really irked me, flying that flag for as long as I had, and they put the makeup back on, and now suddenly there's hundreds of people in line standing at Ticketmaster to get tickets. And I remember Tom and I went to Norwood because we figured nobody in Norwood would be buying Kiss tickets. And we got there and we were second in line, and we were buying tickets for Cleveland. But Hootie and the Blowfish were going on sale for Riverbend that day. So Thriftway wanted to make us go last because it wasn't fair to all the Hootie fans. And I said, well, why don't you just let us go first and you'll be done? Because, and they're like, no. And so there was 4 people, but they were separate, 2 and 2. The first 2 customers said, yeah, I'll take Hootie and the Blowfish lawn, please. Lawn.
They're just there to smoke weed and have background music.
It was that whole thing where Hootie was lightning in a bottle, and they were good, but everybody wanted to be on the bandwagon. And it was like the Dave Matthews Band. I never understood Dave Matthews. And if you don't like Dave Matthews out there, that's great. But there was no reason why Dave Matthews should have been selling 3 nights out in a row at Riverbend. Once that fad ended, he could barely sell 1 night out now, I guess. I don't know. He still gets a crowd, but party. 1 night. So
I think Jimmy Buffett would sell several nights. It's the party, but it's not
Jimmy. But Jimmy is legendary here in Cincinnati. I mean, we're the home of the Parrot Heads. But but God, but within our own society, tons of accolades. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I picked up the phone and called Andy and said, "Oh my God, did you hear this yet? Did you see this?"
Yeah.
So turning a corner here, I need to ask Gary, were you at the Frehley's Comet show at Bogart's in 1990? It was March 7th. Did you go to that?
I don't have the memory that Brent has about concerts. I believe I saw him, but I don't know if I saw it.
White Lion would have been opening, Gary, if you.
Well, that was 1987.
87.
Setlist has it wrong.
Well, no. 1987 is when the first Frehley's Comet tour came, and it was in July. And we graduated and just gotten back from Myrtle Beach, and Rob Tipton, Andy, you were there, but we all went to that show.
I went
We
to
walked-
whichever one White Lion was at.
Yeah, we walked in when White Line was playing, and it was my first time seeing Ace. I got to meet him that day at Record Alley beforehand, and I was just nervous little shit. Couldn't believe I was meeting one of my idols. In any event, we're standing there, about 10 people deep in the crowd, and I'll never forget it. Ace threw a pick, and it bounced off my forehead. I got it. I got the pick. And then he went to play Deuce during the encores. And I remember Rob Tipton put his fingers together, and I got up on, and right when Get Up and Get Your Grandma Out of Here, I was up in the air and I'm pointing at him. We're singing it.
That's cool. I have zero recollection of that, but that was cool.
I know, but yeah.
I'm pretty sure I was there.
You were there, but you just don't remember anything.
I mean,
I don't remember
looking at this, looking at this set list, it is from the Trouble Walking tour, and I know I didn't go to that one. I went to the first one, Frehley's Comet, so I was at that same show too.
Now, the Trouble Walking one didn't have as many people there, and I remember some dude jumped on stage and went to stage dive, and it was like the party in the Red Sea. I saw the guy bounce 3 times
Yeah.
off the floor, and I'm like, you don't do that at an Ace concert.
No.
Bogart's was like a 5-foot high stage too.
Yeah.
I mean, you're right off onto the concrete floor.
Yeah, because I went the night before in Columbus on the Trouble Walking tour to see him there too.
Then, Bert, the last time that I would have seen Ace was the indie thing, right? The reunion of.
I guess you're right.
For me.
It's not lost on me that you asked Brent
Yeah.
Well,
when the last time you saw something was.
I'm trying to remember the one time he saw him, and
If only Brent and I were close enough to where he would remind me of when I saw something.
Well, I got to be careful because no matter what I say, he'll be like, "No, you're wrong. You're wrong."
no,
So it's like,
that's right.
I'll
Because
just lead with. You remember the last time I saw him?
that was the Frehley's Comet reunion with Anton. We finally got to see Anton Fig play with Ace.
Yeah.
And that was killer. But yeah, that would have been the last time you saw Ace.
So that was what? 2000.
Oh my God, I'm so bad with the years anymore.
Oh, come on. Then 2018. Put us
Well-
down. I was living in Columbus. I know that because I had to go to work the next day.
Tom Shannon was getting ready to put out this version of Bruce Kulick's Bruce Kulick 3, and I don't know if they
Is
have
that a
date
shout
yet.
out?
Yeah.
Is that a shout out to Tom Shannon?
Yeah, well, it sold out really quick,
Yeah.
but this album was out. This album was out a year and a half or so before that, and Bruce had some more printed up, and they went ahead and did some special editions with Tom's Rockologist. But it was around that time.
So do you guys remember before you got into, and maybe you read liner notes back then? I never did. I just remember as I got older and started learning about whatever songwriters that I realized a lot of the songs I liked from Kiss were Ace Frehley songs. And I was pleasantly surprised by that and realized, oh, I really like Ace's style.
Yeah.
Although it's kind of, I mean, if you listen to some of his solo stuff, it's a little repetitive in a sense. You hear the same kind of rhythm to it, but
Mhm.
I loved, I mean, as a kid, I loved, Cold Gin. I didn't know what it was, but I loved Cold Gin. And Parasite was just always such a great riff. And then I find out that, of course, I loved Shock Me, which was fantastic.
Yeah, in Strange Ways, which you need to really know that song.
I was well into my 20s and did you go back and you listen to your comfort stuff, your old Kiss stuff, and the lyrics hit you. It was like, ooh, I can't believe my parents let me listen to this at 10, 11, 12 years old. Every song was about sex.
I was probably 21 years old when one day I'm in the car and singing Rocket Ride. And because Ace, Space Ace, he was a spaceman. She wants a rocket ride.
Yeah,
Baby wants a
makes
fast.
sense to
Baby
me.
wants a
Yeah,
blast.
she does.
She wants a rocket ride. And I'm sitting there going, Baby wants a blast. Baby wants a fast. I went, oh my God. It's about screwing. I had no clue.
This isn't about Space Mountain.
Just
My
wasn't
dreams.
the double entendre thing was just, it's like Andy and I spoke on another episode that we were doing, and we were talking about Nothing to Lose. And I said, God, we were at least seniors in high school when we realized they were talking about anal sex. When you said, I thought about the back door.
Yeah.
And she did it anyway. I mean,
yeah, I mean, I never knew that was what that was about.
But it hit, and there were certain things that I would, but you're right, Kevin.
Yeah.
Because you're a kid and everything's innocent to you. You're not thinking about.
Yeah, it's
because of the character, kind of, in a way. But you're naive as well.
The character, the show, it was just always about the you one thing I've seen Kiss many times, you always get your money's worth, always.
Yeah. Do you guys
I see some things in the chat, by the way?
What do you got going on over there?
I'd show you this one real quick.
I did find the Bogart set list from July 11th, 1987.
You got this one real quick. I'll throw up there. And I'm sorry I'm blocking you guys, but just to show that one real quick.
Let's see. I was listening.
In case you want
Torpedo Girl. That's Andy. You got to listen to Unmasked.
That came out before Torpedo Girl.
Oh, yeah.
No, what were you saying about the weather, Kevin?
The weather, the set list from.
I didn't know what you said. I'm just trying to.
And now let's go to Kevin for weather.
Yeah.
Why?
It's going to be.
Powell Michaels here. Remember that one, Andy?
Yeah.
July 11th, 1987. I can read them out one by one or just do the whole set list. We can talk about it.
Is this an A set list?
Well, and also, before you read that, Kev,
sure.
Guys, think about it, because when I asked the question, because I don't want to put anybody on the spot, but think about: do you have a favorite Ace song? It's your song, and while Kevin reads off the set list, you could put your thinking cap on.
I could put a greatest hits album, double album together easy.
This is from KissConcertHistory.com, and this is the website. Started out with "Rip It Out."
What tour? What tour is this?
This is 1987. Frehley's Comet. White Lion is the opener. I mean, it has all the.
87. Yeah, I have this on audio, by the way.
This is at Bogart's. "Stranger in a Strange Land" was second. Todd Howarth on vocals.
Todd's phenomenal.
Yes, he is.
No, Todd's not on vocals on that.
On string. Oh, you're right. Yeah. "Something Moved." That's where Todd starts.
And Breakout.
I love the Frehley's. I love the Todd Howarth stuff too. I really did. "Cold Gin." "Love Me Right."
Great tune.
Mm-hmm. "Into the Night." I actually like that one too.
Russ Ballard wrote that.
Yep. "New York Groove." Russ Ballard. "Rock Soldiers." I like that autobiographical Ace.
Not Russ Ballard.
Todd Howarth, "Breakout." Great song.
Great song.
Great guitar work on that too.
Why isn't Todd on this with us?
Hopefully he's busy doing music. "Calling to You."
That's Todd Howarth.
I just blasted
that song
today,
came from actually 707, the band he was in before.
Yeah,
and that was on the Mega Force soundtrack. The movie. Do you all remember that movie? Nobody does, but
did you say Mega Force?
Mega Force
with Barry Bostwick?
Yeah, Barry Bostwick. Yeah.
Wait a minute.
So
Gary lived at Showcase Cinemas. So
Gary,
I did.
Gary for the X marks X for the block.
Well, hey,
go get them, boys.
I'm just bringing it back. I'm just glad somebody else can chime in on them, so that's great.
Well, I'm just glad that Gary. Hey, there's another movie out there besides Flash that he went and saw at that time frame, because he was seeing Flash every week, it seems.
By the way, the Mega Force video game, horrible. Horrible.
Was that on the Odyssey?
No, it was on when Commodore. I had the ColecoVision and I had the Atari adapter.
Isn't that what you're running your?
No.
Sorry.
And I bought that, and I remember buying the movie Crawl, the video game for that. Horrible
Yeah.
too.
Why would you even buy it?
I took it back to Van Lunen's, got my
listen,
money
He's like,
back.
he's like,
I
it's
make-
gotta be better than the movie.
Van
Game's gotta be-
Lunen's.
I make colossally bad decisions, and I didn't even buy that dredge.
You don't even remember them.
No,
See?
I did buy the Journey game though. By the way,
Man.
That wasn't even the video game.
anyway, Kevin, continue.
Oh no, I'm thinking of that Rockstar game you had on ColecoVision where you had to type in stuff and you for your tour and everything.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember watching Greg Gessendorf play it. I was like, yeah, I can't do this. So we got 3 left. We Got Your Rock. I don't actually know that song. Not off the top of my
We
head.
got your rock.
What is it from?
Here. From
Frehley's
the
Comet?
Frehley's Comet album, yeah.
Oh, I must have skipped that on the
Got a backstage
cassette.
pass and a nice little ass, and I think I want to take you home, but I must admit you really get me hot. Dun 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 dun.
Dun, dun.
It's
After
nice
we
to know
record,
that a
I'm gonna
guy
go
like
check
me could rock it till you're paralyzed and leave
Next-
you begging
next
more
song.
like a dog in
Quickly,
heat.
next song, quickly.
that. We're gonna get a copyright strike, Brent, on a song nobody knows.
If it's rock and
except
roll
you.
you came for, it's rock and roll you're gonna get. Yeah.
The aforementioned by Brent, Deuce, part of the encore of this show, and then Rocket Ride, also aforementioned. And that ends.
That sounds about sex, by the way.
Damn it.
Wait a minute, hold on. Are you serious? I'm just kidding.
By the way, Kiss records, they all were.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
songs; it's just albums.
It's just Gene was so overt about it that kind of everything else was like, oh, a love song.
But
I'm waiting for the canceling over Christine 16. I mean, where's
Oh,
the,
yeah.
You know, we
Can't believe how much I like that song.
Culture. That's what it was, you know.
Yeah.
And it still rocks.
So,
She's young and clean.
oh, Jesus.
Hey,
I got to have her, can't live without her. Whoa, no.
she's only 17, one of Brent's favorite.
Oh God, Andy gave me the good news that Winger broke up yesterday. That was probably the best birthday present I could have gotten.
How does a one-man band break up? Sorry,
So-
Red Beach.
Oh,
It would have been another guitar player. I mean,
Well, so let's talk about the ace songs. Kevin, who wants to go first? Who's got an ace? Like, if you have to pick a favorite. Now, Brent and I've been doing this.
I'll go first.
Okay, because Brent and I've been doing this
Because
series,
you guys have been doing this. Yeah.
and we've been forcing ourselves to pick songs off albums.
Yeah.
yeah, but we haven't done an individual member like this.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So we get into this.
Well, I don't have all of the knowledge. So I'm
Yeah.
going to go based on the
You
ones
like what
I
you like.
know and
Jerry,
what
you
I.
say a Marvelous 3 song, nobody's going to know.
I'm
I
actually
would.
going to go with
I would.
my favorite that I heard out of that list, which is Cold Gin.
Yeah.
That's probably my favorite out of that list. that you
It's
read.
hard to not respect the classics
Yeah.
because they're just so good, man.
Yeah, that gets me out of the way. Next.
So, Kev, do you have
hmm.
if you or do you need to pass?
I won't pass.
It's tough.
It is. I mean, I have Fractured Mirror on my nameplate. I did drop the needle all the way on the album. It's the last song on side 2.
I mean,
and
you could say dolls if you want.
I
was telling a
Oh
story
my
about that
gosh.
tonight.
I like
I
my
was telling a
dolls.
story
That
to my
song.
wife. They had no
That's-
care in the world.
That's a creepy little song, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
See, well, I'm gonna.
I used to get the
Kevin,
biggest kick out of that song, and I'm like, why? It's
You-
not good.
You
I
think
know,
you
it's-
think about your thing, and I'm just gonna.
Brent, take the lead for a minute, Brent.
The dolls.
Hold
he
on,
had a song
Jeremy's
called-
chiming in with Parasite. I do not disagree with Jeremy on that. Parasite is
Oh, Parasite's a good song.
flippin' man.
Yep.
He had a song called "Dolls" on the first Frehley's Comet album, and the lyric was, "I love my dolls. They'll never leave me. Can't you see? They really love me. I love my dolls. You know." And he's talking about women, but he also had
Oh.
like a 4-year-old daughter named Monique. And at the end of the song, Monique's in there singing with this little
Creepy
voice, you
kid's
know.
voice.
Creepy,
And-
yeah.
And
I
being a
love
parent,
my
I
dolls.
if I would have written that song, I'd be like, well, it's got to go on the album now. It's got to go on the album, you know.
If you guys
And I'm
can't
gonna,
see
and
it,
I'm glad,
Gary,
I'm
Gary,
glad
can
it
you put that
exists.
question Jeremy's got up?
The
The one from 927.
this
Yeah.
one.
Oh,
Huh?
you know,
And you can say Molly Hatchet.
and Bonnie Tyler.
It is acceptable, but I would tell you you're wrong. I'm sorry.
Bonnie-
As much as I love Ace, I think Kiss's version is better.
Well, the one thing I could say, Ace made it more Stones sounding. It's very gritty, Ace's version, and both sound great.
To me, it was a restroom song when they played that in concert.
Brent just got muted. So apparently somebody did not like that opinion.
No, I was just messing with you, Brent.
What did I say that was wrong?
Nothing. I just wanted to mute you for a minute.
Oh,
No, I don't. I mean, I like Ace's version. I'm not saying it's bad. I just, for me personally, I like Kiss's version.
Yeah,
I don't like the song.
Herb.
Oh, I love
would
this
hear it,
song.
Herb would be like, "Oh, this is so much better than the Kiss version."
Yeah.
But he loved Ace. Everybody loved Ace.
Ace
You guys,
was the party.
you guys keeping an eye on the Facebook feed? There's some comments over there.
I
I'm
can't.
looking.
Yeah, Kevin,
You
check.
can't put them. You just can't keep them rolling on the screen somehow, or
I don't think they show up on the thing here. I think it's just the
Important.
YouTube comments.
I don't have Facebook.
Do you have Ace book?
yeah, we have Ace book.
What?
Did you get that?
What? Yeah. So Brent,
Yes, sir.
what do you were dancing around there? What do you think? I know you could give us 30 Ace songs, but like if you had to really pick, I'll even let you pick a solo song and a Kiss song. I'll give you 2. I'd like to give Brent 2s to pick from
Wow.
because I want to pick 2. So that's what I
Well,
got. It.
And you can see what I've got in my hand right here.
Yeah.
I mean,
Look, that whole outlook. First of all, let's go. You Rip It Out is one of the just greatest
love that.
rock songs. Like
Yes.
I wanted to come home and like just sit behind my kit and play, but I can't play what Anton plays. But I want to try to play because I love Rip It Out. It's such a great song. I love Speeding Back to My Baby.
yep.
I love Snowblind.
Yep.
I love Wiped Out.
Wiped out
Mhm.
the whole album.
You skipped
Yeah.
What's on Your Mind.
I don't love that song.
Oh.
I love and of course I love New York Groove, but it's a cover,
Yeah.
but
Well, he owns it. I mean,
yeah.
he made that.
And I loved I don't know, man. I think for me, if I have to pick solo album wise, I probably go Rip It Out. I just think that's a definitive Ace Frehley
Album
song.
opener, concert opener.
And then I was thinking about this today. I wonder if that would have been a Kiss song. You know what I'm saying?
It would have if
Like,
he would
were
have
these
shared
songs-
some of this stuff with them, maybe.
If he was holding these back, he's like, when I leave you guys, I'm putting my own album out. And then would they have been accepting of it? Because like, didn't they do solo songs on the next tour? Didn't they?
Well,
each
yeah,
get to
they
do
did.
a song.
Yeah, everybody except for Peter. Peter got to do Tossing and Turning, and they kind of tossed that out the door, and that wasn't even an
I
original
could sleep it
song.
all last night.
But yeah, they all did their
Also
solo.
a remake.
Because Paul did Move On, Ace did New York Groove, Gene did Radioactive, and Peter did Tossing and Turning.
Because they couldn't do You Matter to Me, one of only 2 good songs on that album.
And that's
And I
why.
Can't Stop the Rain.
That's why.
Oh, yeah, that's okay. But I really like Baby, Don't You Let Me Down. I love that.
You know,
That's soulful.
Kevin,
I've got a theory.
we got to bring
Uh-oh.
Kevin on board for the Sonic Legacy Peter Chris.
Yeah, I'm not stalling here, but I
You
got
are.
a theory. I was going through
I still haven't finished Ace.
on one of
songs.
our Sonic Legacy things we were doing. Andy pulls out Rock and Roll Over. He goes, I even got the order form for it. I went, Andy, order form didn't come with that album.
Alive 2.
Yeah, and I'm saying that's alive too. So I went through all my old Kiss records that are just beat to hell from when I was a kid, thinking, I wonder if there's anything in these at
Yeah.
all. Yeah, I got to the solo albums, and I noticed they were all scratched to hell except for Peter Criss. It looked almost mint. I tell you, every kid's record of Peter Criss mostly looks
Yeah.
mint still.
Except mine.
Yeah, and that. So back to me for a minute. If
Yeah,
I gotta pick an Ace Kiss song, I get torn because I love
Natalie.
Parasite. You know, I love that riff. I love that groove. But man, I don't know. I'm a huge fan of Shock Me. So I'd probably go Rip It Out and Shock Me. Boom. That's it. Foot is
All right.
down.
Foot
Foot is down.
My only issue with Shock Me is I'm not a big fan of the verses, the way the verse melody is, but I like the chorus. And the riff.
Yeah. But the thing is, for
I
me,
can
is
get that.
I love the music to it. Like
Yeah.
I was telling Brent this with the way it kicks in.
And
Yeah.
think he wrote that.
Can he
because
not
got
hear me?
electrocuted in Lakeland, Florida, on that tour. He
Yeah.
touched that handrail, and he got electrocuted and knocked him out. And he was backstage for 10 minutes. They were trying to bring him back.
Yeah.
He wasn't dead, I mean, but he was unconscious.
Well, and it's a double entendre song.
Well,
It's still about
I know, because he
having
says, "Shock
sex."
me,
Well,
make
yeah,
me
'cause
feel
it doesn't
better.
sound like it's about that incident.
Shock me, put on your black leather, shock me, we can come together."
Well, the black
What?
leather.
Yeah.
If he had a leather guitar strap, maybe it would have.
I thought he
Help
meant
him
like
out.
like welding, like shocking and welding.
Yeah,
we would
I
come
know.
Yes,
together
Andy.
as a what?
Don't ruin Andy's childhood memories.
You guys are tainting everything,
That's a different kind of love.
even the taint.
Whoa. I'm
Come
gonna
on,
take a
Kevin.
I'm gonna take a beating for this. I do like the 3 songs on Unmasked that he does. Two Sides of the Coin, Torpedo Girl. What's the other one, Brent?
Talk to Me?
Talk
to Me is a great song, too.
That is good.
I won't.
But
I would.
I'm one of
disagree.
those. I love the album Dynasty. Andy, show up, hit him with the shirt.
Dynasty.
Dynasty.
Yes.
Yeah.
And let's think about Ace's songs on there. The Hard Times Are Where I Wanna Be. And Save Your Love. I love that.
I was
Kiss
talking about
Off.
that it
Yeah.
hasn't been released yet.
Yeah.
And
Kiss
Andy,
Off.
Yeah. Hey, no
That
spoilers.
relationship, Save Your Love. I don't want it. I don't need it. Man, that's a great song. And it's I mean, it just
Hey.
it hits. I love it. Not that you need to save the album Dynasty from I Was Made for Loving You and Sure Know Something. I love those songs. Yeah, Unmasked is one of my favorites. I've been trying to get Andy to listen
It's a
to
great
it
pop
for
record.
since it came out.
great pop record.
Listen, I just did because we
Look,
did.
sometimes
an episode
Andy
about it.
doesn't listen.
Huh?
What?
Yeah.
What?
Here's Lit. Yeah, thanks, Brent. I just remember.
Oh,
Andy saying, yeah,
we
thanks,
could do
Brent.
an
Cannot go wrong with Lit.
We could do an episode.
There's nothing wrong with Lit. They're
of,
great.
There.
we could do an episode of Gary correcting
Which-
me when I'd say this album's no good. And it
Lit,
was one of my favorite albums of all time.
Lit covered Snowblind by Ace Frehley.
I
Did they?
didn't know that.
Yes, they did. So Kevin knows, what are your songs then, Kevin? You really didn't. You kind of bounced around.
I know. I was kind of naming them all.
Here, if I can give you a hint, go with this one. I just discovered how to do that, Gary. Have you noticed?
Yeah.
Save Your Love.
Thank you. Takes all the heat off me.
Save Your Love
I didn't
and
know how to do it. Save
And-
all your love.
I really like Two
Save
Sides
Your
of the Coin too,
Love.
but the chorus.
oh yeah,
is
he
great.
only got one
Save
song.
Your
I
Love.
get 2 songs, not him. I forgot.
I don't. Yeah, I didn't care for that song.
What? Save Your
Two sides of the coin.
Two Sides of the Coin to choose from. Torpedo Girl's great for what it
Okay.
is, but I always
Yeah,
think of the
gotta
Incredible
point out
Mr.
the obvious.
Limpet.
I get what he's saying. I just
I always think of the Incredible Mr. Limpet movie, where Don Knotts was the fish. Whenever I hear Two Sides of the Coin, I don't know why.
Ladyfish. Anyway,
Who's seen
Brett,
that
what
in
you
the
got?
past? Who's seen that movie in the past year?
I have
You
not.
have?
Gary.
Oh my God.
I have.
I
have.
did see, because of this recent, the reason we're doing this tonight, I'm looking at Ace Frehley stuff. I did see an Ace Frehley
Yeah,
shirt
That's
with
great.
Yeah.
Don Knotts' head on the
Yeah.
live.
on the 75
costume.
body.
Yeah. Oh
It
man.
reminds me
Well-
of never mind. Talk amongst yourself. There's
Come
another
on.
one that's really funny.
come on, Brent.
We're gonna go off,
Ooh.
off this album here.
Yeah.
And Andy, I can't disagree with you. Rip it out.
Yeah.
I
It's-
mean,
It's so good.
what's on your mind? I love I love when Ace does pop music. I think
Oh, and that's Unmasked.
His
Well,
pop
yeah.
sensibility is just
Talk
fantastic.
to Me is fantastic.
There is an unreleased song. Some people call it audio video, but it's called Catch Me When I Fall. And it is so fantastic. And I was listening to it today. And I hope they go back and release that now. It's so fun. But
Hey,
we're
can
not.
I chime in here for a minute?
That's all you've been doing.
Well, I'm
Damn.
reading the over on Facebook. We got Madison says hi, Dad,
Oh, hi, Madison.
and then
love you.
Dan McCrary climbs in the conversation with "I love dolls." Come on, Dan, you don't love dolls.
Dan,
He loves his dolls.
But he does say that Unmasked is better than Psycho Circus, Sonic Boom, or Monster, and I don't disagree with you on that, Dan. So
Yeah, I got my Bob Guccione filter.
I'm kind of with you on that one.
no, Sonic Boom's a better album.
I don't know.
Dan McQuarrie, by the way, when
But
we were talking about it earlier, when we were talking about our circle of friends and how I met Andy and I met Dan at a lit concert, our first lit concert we went to, and he just kind of hung around us, and then we kind of realized we were Kiss fans, and oh my God, that's great. And then out of nowhere, either Andy or I said a quote from the British show The Young Ones, and Dan responds. He knew the line.
I almost don't want to show this, but this is a
Yeah.
good point. Good point.
I saw that one.
Maybe they.
Well, he had an album called
Whoa.
Trouble Walking.
Who's J Dogs? Who's that?
That's Jeremy.
Jeremy.
How dare you?
That's
Well, we'll just call it audio video then, like everybody else does.
There you go. That's much better.
so anyway, Brett, back to. I'm sorry, I didn't mean. So where are you at? What are your songs?
So rip
Do
it
we
out.
need a countdown for Pete's sake, or what? Do we get there?
And I mean, I want to go with something that he actually sang versus what he had written. And God, it's a toss up between Rocket Ride and Shock Me. We'll go Rocket Ride
There you go.
because it's about sex.
What?
Come on, girl, grab a hold of my rocket.
Let me write that down.
Yeah,
Let me get my
Rocket Ride.
this book here, Gary. Let me get.
Side 4 of Alive 2, the studio tracks are just outstanding.
Love that.
Outstanding.
I like all of them.
And I remember how crushed I was. The older you get, you start, people start coming out and saying about the truths about things. And my all-time favorite guitar solo by Ace Frehley was on Larger Than Life. I freaking just thought it was incredible. It was so bluesy and what have you. And then years later, a guy named Bruce Kulick gets into Kiss, and Bruce's brother Bob used to played on Paul's solo record. He co-wrote Naked City with Gene. And he did some ghost
That was
work.
about sex too.
He had a top 40 hit with the group Balance.
Yes.
Pepe Castro singing.
Yep, Pepe Castro. And
Breaking Away.
it
Listen to
came
that.
out
It's
in
very good.
an interview, and Bob said, yeah, I played on side 4 of Alive 2 most of those songs.
Oh,
And I'm like, huh? So Paul Stanley does his first solo tour, and Bob Kulick's a guitar player, and of course Eric Singer is on drums. And I get to meet Bob and Paul before the show, and I say, Bob, did you play the solo on the Larger Than Life? And he went, yep. And I went, oh my God. He goes, what? I said, that was my favorite Ace solo. He goes, not anymore.
Ouch.
zinger.
But but man, the dude tried to sound like Ace when he played that. Kevin, Andy ain't gonna know. Gary ain't gonna know.
Yeah,
Kevin will know.
Yeah,
You agree with me that it sounds like Ace?
This is the first I'm hearing that it wasn't. So
Really?
yeah,
Because
Kevin's fractured mirror.
and the thing is, Ace was in the studio and just wasn't recording. And when Bob walked out, Ace said, how did I sound? And Bob said, the best you ever played.
The best you've
The
ever seen.
impersonation is spot on.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Hey,
Dick Wagner was a great Ace Frehley apist too.
I don't think he sounded anything like him.
Well, we didn't know it wasn't him.
Yeah, but it just didn't sound like him.
Yeah, definitely different style. Well, that was
on the overrated Destroyer album for you all you just coming in here.
Listen, I would be remiss, Gary.
Uh-oh, here we go.
If I didn't mention Butch Walker somewhere in a conversation. Did you guys? I can't. I know you haven't.
I
seen
saw it last night.
Butch.
I haven't seen it yet.
He put a really cool post up about Ace Frehley, and I thought it was. I shared it. It's just Butch sitting there, and he's playing the guitar solo from Alive 2.
Alive 2, yeah.
He's not playing. He's just letting it play on the album or whatever, and he's holding a Les Paul, and he's sitting there, and he doesn't say a word, but he's just like this. This was what changed everything for me, and I was like, that's pretty cool.
I didn't get to listen to the track, but I saw somebody commented on his post. Gosh, I got to look it up now. And his response to him actually made me laugh. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll find it real quick.
But that was the cool thing. Like, again, we kids, we had those. We were lucky, to have the childhood we had, and the album covers that we had. I mean, Kev, Brent and I talk about, and I'm sure you've seen some of the episodes. I mean, Rock and Roll Over as an album cover, Destroyer as an album cover, Love Gun. I mean, Rock and Roll Over is just the greatest album. So it was just such a fun time to be a kid, and I guess we were lucky.
And there's so many parodies of Rock and Roll Over album cover.
And we were
as you mentioned in that episode.
We had these heroes to look up to, and it kind of I guess it's a kick in the face of our own mortality that we are getting older. As much as we try to act like we're not, we're watching our heroes start to fade, and this is tough.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like all the joking around, but it's I don't know. It's just weird. I didn't expect. First of all, not to be weird, but I didn't expect Ace to be the first one to die out of this band.
I would have back.
And I'm not being mean or anything. I'm just saying.
Back in the '80s, I would say, yeah, he's on that
path. Substance.
Yeah.
But that does affect you on the back end if you do survive it.
And I'll say this: I'm glad that. Me and our good friend Bob Horton, we made the trek up to the Hall of Fame ceremony to see Kiss get inducted, and I'm glad we went. It was pretty cool, and if you haven't seen that induction, you're missing. Tom Morello just crushed it, and rightfully so. They deserved it. So I don't know. I'm glad, and I'm Brent and I'm glad that we got to take my dad back to see Kiss after 30 some years. My dad famously took Brent and I to see Kiss. Kevin, you were there at the Dayton
right
show.
Across the arena from you with Steve Cook and Steve. My mom.
Yeah, and my dad took me and Brent. So
was that January 9th, 1983?
1983, Sunday night.
It was so awesome, and
school was great the next day. I couldn't hear a thing.
And it was awesome.
I couldn't sleep when I got home. I was so excited.
Well, there was that too, plus the long drive back from Dayton.
Yeah, and then like I said, Brent and I got to take my dad 30 plus years later one last time, and it's cool. And even my dad, who doesn't like with the rock and roll music that the kids are playing, but he let us play it, and he put up with us, and he supported us, and he took us when he didn't want to go. But he's told everybody that'll listen to him, if you haven't seen Kiss in concert, you are missing out.
Yeah. And he bought you a massive drum set to chase your dreams.
He did. And I mean, Brent, do you remember watching my dad at the show? And I don't know if you were watching him a lot, but I was, because it's my dad. But like every time this is my dad. He's holding his phone up. He's taking pictures and filming. I mean, but
just like the kids.
We know where the bombs are going to go off, right? Certain times. And my dad
especially on War Machine.
And man, he'd be like, oh, and he'd jump.
Yeah.
And it was. And speaking of War Machine, nice segue. The very first song I ever played live in front of a studio audience was War Machine that you were not
Talent
allowed to
show
come
in
over and
junior
play.
high. Yeah. Bruce
But
Drury, I think, took my
Bruce,
place.
yeah, but we again, it all goes back to Kiss. At the end of the day, for all of us, it was always Kiss. Always, we played a Kiss song at Gary's wedding.
We did.
Oh, which one? I forget. Forever?
Every time.
No, I've never played that.
Every
time
time
I think of you.
Every time I look at you.
Every time I look at you.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the babies.
Yeah.
Every time I think
that's because you and I just had a John Waite conversation.
Yeah.
So anyway, Brent, what's going on? It looks like the wheels are spinning.
No, I just, we're sitting talking about. I kind of want to talk about some of the antics.
Go
for it.
We've
like
got no idea.
The story that when they were in a hotel room, probably 1975, and that's when Super Glue came out, and supposedly Ace super glued all the furniture in the hotel room to the ceiling, and he's sitting on the floor, and Bill O'Coin walks in, and he's like, "What the hell did you do?" He goes, "I couldn't lift the bed." I couldn't lift the bed.
That's awesome.
Or the time that they were throwing all the TVs and the furniture out the window, and I think his name was Tommy Mottola, one of the road guys, came in and was trying to put him to bed, and the police were there getting ready to take him to jail, and he's like, "Hey, he's drunk. He had nothing to do with it. He's out of his mind." He tells that story on, I think he might have told that on Tom Snyder's show.
What about in his book, the autobiography, No Regrets? He talked about fishing on the on tours. They put a fish in your luggage or in your drawer in the hotel, talking about Gene, and he smelled. He was Gene's roommate.
Oh yeah. They famously talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah, Gene would just spit on the walls and wouldn't bathe, and Ace was the only one who could put up with him, but Ace was half in the bag all the time.
That's probably why. I need to medicate. Most people do need to medicate to be around Gene, I think.
Well, what's so fantastic about Ace's book is he says, when I saw an interview, and he said, "I had to have somebody help me write it because I couldn't remember anything."
Jeez.
I'm like, "Oh, that's going to be a good book."
Someone who was there had to help him write it.
I couldn't remember.
So a couple things I was thinking of while you guys were talking. I hope that they all somewhat reconciled a little bit before Ace died, that they were on some better terms. I don't know that they were. I hope
they were like brothers. They're like brothers.
That final show, man, it got divisive because Ace and Peter, more so Ace wanted to be there, but Ace kept demanding to get paid to be at the final show in New York. Basically, they invited everybody supposedly, but Bruce wasn't invited. But they said they invited everybody. I don't think they invited anybody technically.
Yeah.
And then this whole thing with Vegas coming up in November, I know Ace said he wasn't going to do it, but he wasn't invited to that. So when they announced the Kennedy Center honors, I thought, oh God, and part of me was upset that it wasn't the entire Kiss lineup over all the years. It was just the original four.
Yeah.
But I thought, wow, we're going to get, they're not going to play. It's going to be people playing their music. It's funny.
Poorly.
And
if the history of that show is any indication,
the Jose Feliciano doing every breath you take,
and Sting sitting there having to keep a straight face through it.
Oh yeah, and I made a comment, and somebody had sent me it the other day because they found it on Reels, and my comment was there from like 5 years ago. I said, "Yeah, let's get the blind guy to sing the verse. I'll be watching you."
Sure, why not?
And I thought, I don't even remember typing that, but it was damn funny. I laughed my ass off when I saw it. But so And I was telling Christina tonight, I said, it's a shame. I said, because we're not going to have the four of them together. And I said, but I wonder if somebody is going to take that moment and single out Ace because he's passed.
Hmm.
See the other three guys kind of getting pissy about it. Because as much as I love them, they're all ego-driven maniacs. They are.
I don't think Peter would have an issue with it. He had a nice post, and
yeah, but Peter's got it. His ego's just. When
Sure.
Peter found out the Ace was making more money than him on the reunion tour, he went freaking ballistic, and it had made Ace feel bad because Ace didn't tell him he was making more money than Peter. Well, that's because Peter was the least important part of the puzzle.
And you make your own deal after you've been out of group, come back. You got to remember, Peter, you make your own deal.
Peter has his own little things. He's not innocent.
Yeah.
So Brent, let me pick your brain for a minute and see, and not to throw you on a spot here, but what was the last album that Ace really was involved in?
Last Kiss album?
Yeah. Like how much was he there for?
Well, it had been
for Elder.
Unmasked.
Because the Elder, Unmasked, we had 3 songs on the Elder, or on Unmasked. And then when they did the Elder, Peter was already gone. So Eric Carr was in.
Yeah.
And he always said, I lost my half of the vote because it was always Peter and him.
Yeah.
And Paul. So they voted to do the Elder, and he lost, and he didn't like the direction they were going. So when they went up to Canada to record with Bob Ezra, and Ace didn't go, he stayed in Connecticut and recorded.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me this.
Yeah, he recorded his parts down in Connecticut, and he would send them up there. And he wasn't very happy with the album. And then he gets the album and finds that Bob Ezrin cut all the solos out of everything. So for those of you that know your history and you watched the show Fridays, where it was the only live performance they did from the Elder, they played 3 songs: The Oath, World Without Heroes, and I. And in The Oath, Ace does a solo. And it's right before he does the solo, he looks at the side of the stage and he shakes his head because I guess he had to go to do the solo. That wasn't on the record.
That again.
I thought you were going to say an offstage musician played it. Or
no, he looks over and
he was going with.
He just does this, and then he goes into a solo. And I just remember going, "Wow, that's different."
The cue of now's the time to because that is not a typical layout of a song.
No, but
so to know, you would have to.
So you watch that and you'll see him shake his head to somebody right before he goes into the solo. So I think he got the clearance that go ahead, you got the time to do it, because it was live on TV back then. So I know too much shit, don't I?
Yeah.
Well, they did 3 songs. I don't think anyone else did 3 songs on Fridays the whole time. Maybe
and it was the weekend of the Bengals and 49ers Super Bowl.
You're right.
It was.
In Detroit.
It totally was. So, which we lost. Shocker.
What?
Don't bring that up.
We lost.
Next, you're going to say Rocket Ride's about sex.
That's Gary deflecting Bengals pain.
So let's put the X in sex about?
Oh, spelling.
Well, it was Paul Stanley's way of saying, okay, we're going to write a song called all night to make sure Brent gets it right away. And we're going to write a song called Let's Put the X in Sex
to confuse
Brent will just get it right away. And then we're going to do a song called You Make Me Rock Hard, which isn't really about rocking hard. It's about
what's Brent's position on I Just Want to Forget You? Jean Bouvier.
That's one of the all-time greatest Kiss songs ever written, even if it does sound like Summertime Blues a little bit.
So, hey, Brent, let me ask you this, because I just thought of this when Kevin brought up Sidetrack Revenge. So is that Ace? Did Ace, or is that Beauvoir who wrote that car jam that became Breakout?
No, it was Ace. Ace and Eric got together during the Elder, and they were going to do an instrumental. So, which was
the island, or
no, it was they were just working on things, and the song "Breakout" off his first, that was Car Jam. And I had that back when we were in high school. I had a bootleg tape with that demo on it. And, of course, they're using it, and it's Ace on the record on Revenge.
Is that the Ace version?
Yeah, that's
right?
it. They edited the drum solo some. It's a little different on the demo I had, and they just had Bruce soloing over top of it. That was from the Elder Sessions.
That's pretty cool.
What else do you want to know?
That's cool, man.
That's cool.
Gary, what do you want to know?
Do you have a favorite Ace Frehley solo besides the one Bob Kulick played?
I know, isn't that's just gut wrenching, isn't it?
I think I love the solo, the Love Gun. It's repetitive. I love that little riff, and I love the Kevin. Yeah, you're the guitar guy. In Speeding Back to My Baby, when he does that,
Yeah.
It's backwards.
I don't know what you call it, but I like it.
It's backwards.
It's a lot of this.
It's
Reverse
they played it backwards.
It's called Twisting the Cat, isn't it?
Reverse gate.
Bill the Cat.
Phil Collins used it a lot. The Beatles used it a lot.
Yeah,
Probably
it's
the
backwards,
first.
and when they did that, it's kind of sounded like a car horn a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not a
about that.
calliope.
I
He
just
steered clear of the calliope.
Yeah,
I just like that.
Bob's not here, so
Yeah.
Bob Ezrin, for you that don't know, played a calliope on Flaming Youth on the Destroyer album.
An otherwise great song.
It's a good song, which was actually
Overrated.
was a demo that Gene wrote called Mad Dog.
No.
And that was the rhythm, down, and it was slower.
Gene
Dog.
Gene writes great riffs, or did.
Yeah. But yeah, that's
not
Flaming
doing
Youth
music
was Mad
anymore.
Dog. I could play it for you. I got it right here.
That's okay.
Oh, by the way, Andy.
Yeah.
While we're live, I'm going to make this true confession time here for you.
Oh boy.
True
When I played
confessions.
the Not for the Innocent demo,
Gene Simmons solo album.
after we got done recording the that Creatures or Lick It Up episode that hasn't come out yet, but I'm playing
The Lick It
demo
Up
of
episode?
Not for the Innocent because I told Andy this is what it should have been, and lo and behold, I wasn't even thinking that's off the Creatures box set. That was written for Creatures.
Oh wow.
So
You know who plays the guitar solo on Creatures of the Night?
are you going to say Rick Derringer?
Nope.
Are you
Steve
gonna talk about-
Ferris of
Yeah.
Mr. Mister.
I was going to say, or are you going to say the Mr. guys? What I was going to say.
There you go.
Are you
Um,
going to the mall? Sorry,
what's wrong?
I'm getting sleepy.
Well, we can kind of wrap it up if we have to. So let's do some last reflections. So has it hit everybody that Ace is gone? Like it
Go ahead and
hasn't
throw
quite
this
hit
in
me.
there.
Like it hit me harder when Ozzy died because I was totally shocked by that one.
Yeah.
I'll say this: Brent and I had a little bit of foreknowledge on this.
Well, I don't feel like all of the reports out there didn't kind of make it seem a little
yeah.
like
what
why
the
is it-
initial reports of him falling and canceling the tour, that part?
Yeah, it was like that's kind of strange. Like,
Well, he's 74 years old.
Yeah.
I didn't get that feeling. I was like, oh, okay. I didn't know there
Yeah,
was anything
I didn't
serious.
know he might have hurt his back. I mean, they weren't saying anything, and I
Yeah.
thought, well, no news is good news. And then the other news broke about the respirator from someone that was told Andy that that we were friends with, and
Yeah, Brett and I have a friend, and we won't name names, but he knows people, and he gave us a week ago. He said, "Hey, it's not good," and he kind of told us. And Brett and I had a little bit of talk about it, and so we weren't. I guess we were kind of prepared for it, but like,
yeah. But I kept trying to rationalize. It's like I went back to the person who discovered Kiss and named Ace Eddie Trunk. Eddie Trunk will name drop. I'm surprised maybe he'll name drop the four of us after this is over with.
Well, it was his idea to
because
do a
of
show
course he
called
found
Round Table.
he actually asked us to do this.
Yeah.
Well, it's like I said, he gave Andy his name, told his parents to name him Andy Parker after the drummer for UFO. Remember that?
He did.
Big
did.
story I wrote up on anyway.
Yeah.
I digress.
True story.
Eddie Trunk does know Ace. He worked with Ace at Megaforce Records, which
Yeah,
he'll say
out of
I
his-
signed Ace, but he didn't. You know,
out of his mother's basement.
John and Marsha Zazula was the one that signed him because they owned the Megaforce Records.
Yeah.
But he helped facilitate it, I guess. In any event, he was saying that, I guess, you know, Ace is doing better. And my thought was, well, if he's not doing, why would he even say that if it weren't true? He has to have some kind of inside knowledge. I mean, because as much as I despise the guy, you know, and it's not, wait, I don't despise him. I just think he's a fool because he wants everybody to think he knows everybody.
Yeah.
You know,
He's a
That would
name
be-
dropper.
and
Yeah.
it's constant name dropper. I
Someone
mean, he throws
you-
his own birthday party, and Sammy's coming to my birthday party, and he's gonna play. And then I called Michael Anthony, and then I did. And I'm like,
You should introduce him to the person you were talking about before we recorded. I think they'd hit it off pretty
Well,
good.
you know.
Or they would blow each other up. Who
but my
knows?
joke was, you
Hey,
know,
no-
years ago, I told Andy
Off-camera
about a.
jokes.
I told Andy
Yeah,
about a.
you
band
know how I
called-
love that.
I told Andy about a band called Dirty Honey. I said, let's see how long it takes for Eddie Trunk to find out who they are. And because the joke was going to be he discovered them and blah, blah, blah. It took him almost 2.5 years to find out who Dirty Honey was.
Yeah.
And they're a pretty good band. They're a
Well,
pretty good band.
let's wrap this up. Everybody, go around. Everybody, last thoughts. Gary, you want to get any last thoughts on the
I mean,
farewell to the
it's-
spaceman?
It's tough seeing our childhood heroes, so to speak,
Yeah.
pass on. It's just a reminder that, life is short, and I don't know. It's tough. It's tough to see it
yeah,
happen,
yeah.
but a lot of great memories, and the music lives on. So there's always that.
Yeah.
I
Kev?
guess being the oldest of this group, I do think about my mortality a lot. I have my own health issues, and I have lost a lot of musicians. 2016 was the roughest year for me. Bowie, Glenn Frey, George Michael, and Prince all heavily influenced me. Ace, while I do play guitar, I play it a lot more than I play bass. I started on bass, but guitar-wise, I'm not a solo guy. But when I write riffs, and I don't know, when I finally get it out there, you guys will have to tell me you hear Ace and any of that, but you would have to, because of how many hours I spent in my lifetime listening to Kiss songs over and over and over. And they are like a nice warm blanket you can slip back into. And I've listened to Unmasked at least 3 times this year on YouTube. Just put the full album on.
Yeah.
One of my favorite albums. And Dynasty once. I know
Don't
I've
you
hit
own them
that once.
anymore?
Huh?
Don't you own them?
I do. They're down in the basement on CD, but it's just easier to
Okay, I
queue
know.
up on. I own every Kiss album up until Hot in the Shade. After that, I haven't. I've been bad.
What's he doing on here? Andy?
You owe yourself revenge sometime.
I
Brentry?
get enough of that. I do like. I know the 2 Gene Simmons songs off of that. I love that.
Yeah.
Revenge
Every
is
time
the
that bitch
best-
bends over, I forget my name.
it's the best thing they've put out since Destroyer.
Overrated.
That's for
That sounds
Brent.
like a lead to Brent.
That's for
Final-
Brent. Brentry?
um,
I know this one's your buddy. Ace was your guy, and man, I can't tell me.
well, he was in my youth. I mean, I don't know where the picture is. I think my mom has it. But the first time I ever wore Kiss makeup, it was Ace. I've got my little original Dynasty shirt from McAlpin's right over here in my closet. It's so damn tiny. There's a picture of Madison and I when I got a repro of it. It's the day you and I went to see Butch Walker, Andy, at Bogart's.
See, see how that works out.
But
Gary?
Madison and I, took pictures. And it fit her, but it would never fit this fat ass. But yeah, Ace was my guy growing up. I mean, in high school, Kevin, you remember I'd talk about Ace constantly. But then it became, I love
Paul,
Stanley
really?
and Eric Carr. I mean, Eric Carr was
Yeah, you like
Eric
Timberlake
Carr is
too.
my guy as far as drummers go. I love Eric Carr, but
I'd say you drum like him.
But the
The
Ace,
way you play.
I even got the guitar. Can't play it very well, but you know, I got my
Yeah,
Ace.
but I mean, if some those who don't know, I mean, Brent is a massive collector. You can tell by just looking behind him. I said it before. I used to love to go to his house when he had most of it out, and I could just walk through like my own little Kiss museum. It was awesome.
Yeah, most of the Kiss stuff out.
I mean, you got what you a guitar,
Clarify.
guitar strap behind you. Got a piece of Paul's broken guitar behind you.
That's from the Asylum tour in Cincinnati.
Yeah, and you got a
Yeah, when I
couple-
asked him, I said, "Well, can you sign this and date it?" And he looked. He goes, "I have no idea when I bought or when I broke this." I went, "Oh, I got you covered, Paul. Don't worry about it."
I have your memories too.
But
Wow. Nice.
yeah, I mean, it hit me hard. When Andy, before you called me, like at 3:30, 4 o'clock ish, Tom Peacock had called me. I hadn't spoken to Tom in a while, and we were talking about Ace, and he was like, "What do you know?" And I told him what I had heard, and nothing had broke. I mean, there was nothing going on that day. It was just my birthday. It was calling us a happy birthday. And so I was telling him, and I said, and I hope to God it's wrong. I said, because I didn't see him the last time he was in town, and I'm really regretting it now.
Where did he
Did you
play?
see the last-
Lawrenceburg?
Huh?
Was it Lawrenceburg that he last played?
Lawrenceburg, or I didn't see him at the other one up in Middletown either. JD Legends, I think it is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I just didn't go. The last time I saw Ace was at the Indianapolis State Fair on the Spaceman tour. And, I still will carry that card. I mean, anybody that wants to jump into this stuff and check his stuff out after Kiss, first Frehley's Comet album is fantastic. It's just called Frehley's Comet, which is this one. Then his next best album after that is Trouble Walking.
Mm-hmm.
And then he did some stuff in the middle. It was, there's some good stuff here in it, but his Spaceman album for me is the best thing he did since Trouble
I like
Walking.
that. I like Anomaly too. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
You didn't?
Spaceman,
I liked a lot.
Spaceman's
This guy's
great.
back. He's hungry.
I mean, Mission to Mars is the tune off that album for me. But no, Anomaly, it's funny. We're going to go back to Monique for a second. He brings his daughter back in on a song called A Little Below the Angels.
I heard this. I actually heard this song today as I was driving around Nashville.
And I remember the first time I heard it because she's trying to sound young.
Yeah.
And she's like, and it breaks down. You hear, and she's like, "Daddy,
yeah,
have you ever seen an angel?" And he goes, "Well, sure, darling.
Yeah,
it was one of the prettiest things I ever saw." And I'm like, "Oh my God,
it's a little weird."
Yeah, the sentiment's there, and
but that's a good tune though. I don't mind that song. It's a good song. That part I could do without. I'll tell you this, Brett. I'll say this, and then because we're gonna move on, but
that's a Paul song.
I got a handful of messages from people asking me how you were doing. And I thought that was awesome because that's what, people who know us and know you, and they didn't want to reach out to Brent because I was like, look, it's his birthday. He's supposed to be out celebrating today.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, when you talk to him, you just, and I said, I'll talk to him, but
you told me that privately. You shouldn't have told me that live.
Well, it was pleasantly surprised. Little private messages were like, hey, man, Orion was one of them. Even Teresa, I mean, my better half was in Alaska. And when I told her what was going on, her first words were, how's Brent doing? Not, hey, Andy, I miss you. Hey, I'm coming home soon. Hey, what's going on? It's, how's Brent doing? And so, and I'll say this,
about me.
like Gary was saying, and this one hits. Unfortunately, we're gonna be doing this more when it gets to Gene and Paul and Peter. I mean, I'm gonna be crushed.
Well, with Gene and Paul, hopefully their genes were as good as their parents because they.
Yeah.
I mean, Paul's dad passed when he was 99, 98.
Yeah.
And Gene's mom went just a couple years back.
And there's other artists too. It's going to be hard. I mean, it's just the part of getting old. This part sucks. I mean, my
Yeah.
daughter texted me about it. She was concerned, and I said, "Honey, this is what sucks. If anybody says getting old is great, it sucks because you're watching your friends pass away, your family, and then your heroes, and
And as bad as it sucks, it beats the alternative.
it does.
Yeah, every
So,
day above ground's a good day. I mean, that's true in what they say.
Yeah. I
Every
do
day's a
have
good day.
before we get out of here, let's
Yeah.
talk about Kiss as Halloween costumes.
Have you seen the action figures, Kevin?
No. Where can I see this?
NECA, NECA, they make toys. They have recreated. I just pre-ordered them a couple weeks ago, and they're wearing the 70s Kiss costumes.
they're little dolls.
Yeah.
Oh my
Look
God.
up. Do you have the internet in front of you? Can you look at it right now?
Yeah.
Look up NECA Ben Cooper Kiss.
Do you have the internet in front of you by any chance?
Well, I didn't know if he could do
All
it
of
with
it.
the was
Give all of
here.
it.
But yeah, NECA.
Brent, do you have the internet in front of you? Oh yeah. These are great. Oh yeah.
But if you notice, on the costumes, it'll say Spaceman, Star Child,
Yeah.
Demon, where it said Peter, Chris, Paul Stanley, back then.
I had the demon.
And
That one.
coincidentally, his is the only one that actually has the hair on the mask for some reason. They didn't, in those promo pictures but yeah, those.
The other ones had plastic hair.
When I saw those, because I don't buy a lot of Kiss merchandise any longer. I mean, because there's just so much, and I got so much stuff. I pass on more stuff than I buy.
Well, and you have a house payment and a car payment.
Well,
yeah, so
I keep
Like
up-
that's ever stopped them. Sorry.
I can't. There were times when I remember being a kid, God, do I buy this tour book or do I pay my cable bill?
or selling off things you
Buy-
had doubles up. Let's not bring up bad times. This is
Buy-
already bad
buy the
enough.
tour
No,
book.
that's not bad times. But the when I saw those,
NECA.
I'm like that's worth $80, $20 a piece.
That's
And
that's
NECA-
it reminds you of a great time in your life. Those.
Well,
I
they went
remember.
back. They've got all the old costumes, but I mean the old Superman and Batman's, and everything.
I
They're awesome.
remember. I just had this memory because of this Ace thing. Laying down to go to sleep this morning. That's the schedule I'm on. I remember over in it was Thriftway Save All.
Yeah.
Or Save. Well, Save All had that row of one side was Halloween candy and the other were hanging on hooks where all the costumes. And I remember going in
on
that's
the
where I got my
cardboard.
Gene Simmons. Yeah, cardboard hangers. Take it home.
Well, back
Man,
when
that's a great memory.
back when Andy and I became friends back in 1981-ish. Yeah. Where Zares was on Beachmont Avenue, it used to be Myers Square Village.
Zares.
You remember that?
Myers Square, even
Yeah.
that's a long
In
Twin
Myers Square.
Fair, Ontario. Let's get them all out of there.
And I walked in Rinks. Yeah. And I walked
Gary
in.
hit the wall.
We walked into Myers Square and they had on the floor stacks of the old Kiss costumes, and they were like $2 a piece.
Oh,
I didn't have
wow.
$2 a piece, and I begged my mom to get them. She's like, you won't even. I'm like, I just want them. I'm not, I'm not
I'm
gonna
a
wear
collector.
those. And now those things sell for hundreds of dollars.
Not that you would, but yeah.
Kiss.
Well, the only person I have never, the only figure of the main four that I've never dressed as for Halloween is Ace. I only dressed as Peter once. I had this, those drum sets you get that have the paper heads when you're a kid. We used to use that.
They're done the first day you get them.
Yeah, we're 11, 12 years old. Andy Leahy and I, Jeff Storch, I'm name drop, and Andy's brother, John. We all dressed as Kiss, and I used that drum set, and John he would play Peter. But just sitting around one night in my house, I did the Peter makeup, and there's a Polaroid that exists of me doing the looking down the Peter Chris pose with the sticks crossed, and I think that's in my basement. I'll have to dig that out sometime. My mom came in and took the photo of me, but other than that, it's always been Gene mostly.
Yeah.
Paul once or twice.
So
you guys,
there's a picture of Peter on your face?
Yes.
I
You
was
know,
just
We'll go to
waiting.
Gary next.
I was just
You ever-
trying to find a way to throw something disgusting in.
that's
Well, you already brought up Butch Walker.
Oh, eat it.
Whenever-
Anyway,
whenever I'd buy, like something that was like, individual group thing, Peter was always the last one, and somebody'd be like, do you have this? I'm like, yeah, I got Ace, Gene, and Paul, but I still need a Peter. And I'm like, oh God,
Yep, there it is.
still need a Peter.
Gary, take us out of here.
Do you ever dress up as anyone
As a
from
Peter?
Kiss?
You ever
I'd
seen
only
a
done
Chris
Paul and
$20
Ace.
bill? Sorry.
In their car.
I was always Peter.
You ever seen a grown man naked?
Are we closing this off? I just want to.
Yeah.
Andy, I don't think you said anything, but I just want to say one last thing. And like you started at the beginning of this thing, Ace is part of a group that brought us all together, and I'm thankful for that.
Yeah.
And I feel like they do live on with the music, and as they pass on, we still have that. We still have the memories, and I'm thankful for them, and I'm thankful for you guys.
Thanks,
There.
buddy.
There you go.
Love you too.
I'll say this
All of you.
too.
All of yous.
I have my nephew Tony. He has one son who's showing some musical inclinations, and I'm going to get him a guitar for Christmas this year. But I'm also going to get him a copy of the Alive 2 album so we can
It's a
stare
gateway
at it.
drug. It's a gateway drug.
He's 5, but I'm like, you know what? This is before Ace had passed. I was telling Teresa, this is like, I'm going to get him a copy of the album because I want him to have the same experience I had of looking at that massive gatefold of the stage, and I want him to see that, and maybe at 5 go, I want to do this too.
Yeah.
And that's me passing it on to not the next generation, but the generation beyond. Because my nephew already likes. I took him to his first Kiss concert. I took my daughter to a Kiss concert. Took
You
my
gotta
niece to
get
a
him
Kiss
that.
concert. So anyway, listen, guys.
Let me say this to you real quick, Andy.
Yeah.
They repressed all these in 2014.
Yeah.
This comes with the tattoos.
Okay.
So if you're going to do it, you might as well
Yeah. I
put
will.
30
Thanks.
bucks down.
Yeah, I
and
will.
and it has the evolution book too. It just doesn't have the order form.
Hey,
Yeah, I've got one of
those
those.
tattoos were high quality.
Yeah.
I remember.
I still have an original sheet of those.
Great. But,
Well,
Gary, you never dressed as anyone as Kiss for Halloween?
Nah, he was a Josie and a Pussycat guy.
Probably Flash
I-
Gordon. Or
No,
Ming the Merciless.
I wouldn't have done that. I would have needed 3 people to dress up with me, so I didn't really ever have that.
Weird for
Yeah.
walking around by yourself.
Yeah, just a lonely Kiss member.
Yeah, well,
With
you
With
remember.
a pillowcase
I'm
You mean I shouldn't have done that?
full of Mounds bars.
the worst thing about those old costumes that were just flammable as hell was, it always rained.
Now,
Wow.
I may have had one of those. I may
Yeah.
have had one of those.
It would always rain, and even before you got home, the crotch would be all split out in those things, and that little tie in the back. And they smelled so bad.
I had one, and you guys will probably remember it. It was a green and white, like Joker Wolverine type mask.
Mm-hmm. I know what you're talking about.
You might remember this. I had that one.
It was like Steve Miller Band's
Miller's
album cover. The
Yes,
Joker.
I had one of those as a kid. I don't know why I had it. I did.
believe a comedian touched on this. Is why in the 70s were we so worried about spontaneously bursting into flames? Because everything was like flame retardant, especially the Halloween costumes. I don't know who the comedian was that brought that up. But we were very worried about fire.
We were.
and razor blades and apples.
I still
no
like
internet, but everybody knew somebody that got an apple with a razor blade in it. Now, what?
This is the Ohio goodbye, isn't it?
Yeah. Well,
Welcome. We'd like to close out this episode of Tangent.
I got to tell the story. We get home and parents, dad's taking all your Snickers bars, and mom's taking all your Reese cups. And you're like, holy shit! I'm getting
You
stuck
had
with all
terrible
these
parents.
Yeah, not
peanut
my
butter.
house.
I'm getting stuck with these peanut butter brown things, and and the orange black wrappers.
Called Kisses. Get it?
Is that
I
what
love
they
They
were
were
called?
called Kisses.
Okay.
Peanut butter Kisses.
Peanut butter kisses, yeah. And
Nougat.
so my mom is like on her third Reese cup, and all of a sudden we hear thud. Somebody put something in the Reese cup and knocked her ass out.
Ooh.
She never ate our candy again.
That somebody's name was Brent.
No, it was not. It was out of Wendy's bag.
Oh.
I'll never forget.
Not touching anything with Wendy's bag.
But yeah,
Mom always took the sweet tarts, and my dad always took the Smarties, which didn't help. But I'm glad I didn't want any of that stuff.
Dad would be like,
Junk.
this one was safe to eat.
Look, I
Let
gotta
me
say,
check
for
this one.
that one person that's still watching. Oh, now there's two, but thank you for watching. I can't believe we've been saying goodbye for 20 minutes.
How many people are on? How many people are on?
We should hang out more often.
On two? Who's the two?
I don't know.
Don't know.
They're just people, lonely souls like us on a
But
Friday
we appreciate them.
Lonesome losers.
Lonely people
Listen,
looking for something.
Let's
Lonely
just
people.
say goodbye. Stop
Go
talking.
anywhere.
We'd play music if we didn't get copyright struck.
Gary, where's the?
Goodbye, everybody.
You're
Trying
gonna-
to find
Thanks
the.
for joining us.
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna watch Andy dump the live feed. You should have seen him
trying
trying to get it on. It was hysterical.
Another night, another tale. We'll catch you next time at the round table.
This has been a Touch of Madness production, brought to you by the creative minds at Tommy Twins Media.